Hello boys and girls, thanks for tuning in to this very short video lesson on how to balance an equation and solve for a variable. Let's begin. Let's take a look at this equation. On the left side of the equal sign, you'll see that it reads negative 10n plus 4n minus 72. That itself is an expression. Well, that expression is equivalent or equal to 42. What I'm going to do now are a few steps in order to find or solve for n. N being the variable represents a number. So if you multiply negative 10 by that number, plus 4 times that same number and minus 72, or subtract 72 from it, it'll be equivalent to 42. N will have the same value as 42. Or excuse me, the expression on the left side will have the same value as 42. I'll say that again. Whatever n is, you see 10n and 4n, well, if you put whatever that number is in place of n and multiply negative 10 by it, n, plus 4 times n, or that number, and subtract 72, this side of the equal sign, that side of the left side of the equal sign, will be equal to 42. Let's begin. The first thing that we have to do is combine like terms. And on the left side of the equal sign, you'll notice that there's a negative 10n and a positive 4n. Well, what we have to do here is we need to combine these two terms because they're both coefficients. They both have variables with numbers. We can't combine negative 72 with 4n or 10n because negative 72 is a constant. You'll notice it doesn't have a coefficient with it. So what I'm going to do in order to show that I'm combining these, I'm just going to circle them with their signs. Negative 10n and then positive 4n. And notice I'm including their signs with it. And so when I combine these terms, I just say to myself, I'm going to put these two together. When I take negative 10 and I put 4 with it, or when I take 4 and I put negative 10 with it, I have to ask myself, or tell myself, I'm just combining. It really isn't subtracting or adding. You don't look at the signs as much. But if I start with negative 10 and I group it with 4 positives, I'm going to increase my value. It's going to go up by 4. So really it is kind of like addition. I will have negative 6n as a result from this combination. Or you can look at it like this. If you start with 4 and then you have another 10, you're going to go down, you're going to lose some, and it'll go into the negatives. It'll be negative 6n. Then you just bring this value down. Remember, you include the sign with it, negative 72. Negative 6n minus 72 is equal to 42. Okay. Now we've done some combining. There's nothing to combine, and you'll notice on the right side of the equal sign there was nothing to combine. That was just 42. So you don't combine anything with that. So what we have here are our coefficient, negative 6n minus 72, has the same value as 42, which means negative 6 times a number minus 72 is equivalent to 42, or has the same value as 42. Now we need to do some balancing. And so let's decide where we want our values to be. We have a coefficient on the left with a constant as part of the expression. Then on the right we just have a constant. We want to keep our coefficients on the left side, and here's why. If we were to remove the 42 on the right side and bring it to the left side, for example, if we were to take 42 away from there and subtract it, and then subtract 42 on the left side, because that's what you do when you balance. What you do on one side, you do on the other. If we did that, there would be nothing left on the right side. So we're not going to remove the 42. Well, and we're not going to remove the 6n, because if we cancel out the 6n by adding 6n, we're just going to have a flip of the equation. We'll have on the right side a coefficient with a constant. What we want to do is this. We want to add 72 over here, because we want to cancel this out, and we want to add 72 here, and I'll explain why. We want our variables on the left side, or our coefficients, and our constants on the right side. So we're going to have negative 6n. That's canceled out. In order to cancel out a minus 72, we added 72 to it. Now it's 0. Negative 6n is equal to, well, whatever 42 plus 72 is. That would be 2 plus 2 is 4. Carry the 1. 1 plus 4 is 5, plus 7 is 12. Negative 6n is equal to 124. What we want to solve for eventually, boys and girls, is n. What is n equal to? So we have negative 6 times a number is equal to 124. We need to do the inverse, or the opposite, of multiplication here to get n by itself. So we're going to divide this by negative 6 and divide this by negative 6, and then we'll have our value. N will be equal to a negative value, because when we divide a positive by a negative, we have a negative value. So you can try to solve the rest, what 124 divided by -6 is. All right? Thanks a lot. Bye.